not after this, not in a minute. Now, what is happening in your relationship right now is not just a rough patch. It is not a season of adjustment. It is not two imperfect people learning how to love each other better. What you are living inside of is a carefully constructed environment designed to keep you confused, keep you small, and keep you from ever becoming who God made you to be. I am not here to validate the story you have been telling yourself. I am here to break it open, because the story you have been telling yourself is the one they helped you write. Every time you questioned them, they gave you a reason to doubt your own instincts. Every time something felt wrong, they offered an explanation that almost made sense. Almost, not fully, but just enough to make you feel like the problem was your perception and not their behavior. And so you adjusted, you softened your boundaries, you lowered your standards. You told yourself that love requires compromise and that your discomfort was just the cost of being in a real relationship with a real person who has real flaws. But there is a difference between loving someone through their flaws and losing yourself inside their dysfunction. And God is stopping you right now because you have been on the wrong side of that line for longer than you know. The window to receive this warning is not permanent. Most people scroll past. Most people tell themselves they will think about it later. But you stopped. Something in your spirit recognized this moment before your mind did. That was not an accident. That was God pulling you out of a current before it carries you somewhere you cannot come back from easily. So hear every word of this, because what comes next is not comfortable, but it is necessary. CTA 1. If something in your chest is already tightening because you know this is for you, type Amen in the comments right now. Not later, now, as a declaration that you are present and you are willing to hear what God has been trying to say through your own unease for months. And if you want to be part of making sure this warning finds the next person trapped in the same silence, the Ko-fi link is pinned in the comments. A coffee, a seed, whatever your spirit leads you toward. Every offering plants this word deeper into the lives of people who need it before it is too late for them too. You have been feeling it for a long time now, the exhaustion that does not go away even when you sleep, the way you monitor your own words before you speak them around this person, the constant low-level calculation of what mood they are in, what you can and cannot say, what version of yourself is safe to show today. That is not love. That is management. And you have been managing this person's emotional state at the direct expense of your own peace, your own growth, and your own God-given authority over your own life. Let me tell you what that kind of environment does over time. It does not just drain you, it rewires you. It teaches you that your needs are secondary. It trains you to apologize for having feelings. It conditions you to see your own clarity as aggression and your own boundaries as cruelty. After long enough inside that dynamic, you stop trusting yourself. You start asking their permission to feel what you feel. You start measuring your reality against their version of events instead of against what you actually experienced. And that is exactly where they need you to be. Dependent on their interpretation. Disconnected from your own knowing, unable to leave because you are not even sure anymore what you would be leaving for. God sees this. Every single layer of it. He has not been absent from this relationship. He has been present in every moment you felt something was wrong and could not name it. He has been present in every prayer you whispered at the end of a night when you were too tired to fight and too afraid to leave. He has been present in the quiet understanding that lived underneath your hope that things would change. And He is present right now, in this moment, using this message to say, I have seen enough. It is time. CTA 2. Share this right now with someone you know who is in a relationship where they cannot fully breathe. Someone who has been slowly disappearing inside a dynamic that asks everything of them and gives very little back. Because this warning is not just for you. It is for everyone in your circle who has been silencing their spirit to preserve someone else's comfort. And for those who feel the pull to go deeper, the KO-FI link is pinned in the comments. What you give does not fund content. It funds the next warning that arrives at the exact moment someone needs it before they make a decision that sets them back years. Here is what God is doing in this season that the person you are with does not want you to understand. He is not just protecting you from pain. He is protecting you from the permanent dimming that happens when someone with an agenda stays close enough, long enough to convince you that the dim version of yourself is the real one. Because here is the truth about the person you keep making excuses for. They are not confused about how they make you feel. They are not unaware of the pattern. They are not going through something temporary that explains why you consistently feel worse about yourself after time with them than you did before. They know what they are doing, maybe not with full conscious strategy, but on a level that matters. They have learned that your self-doubt keeps you available, that your guilt keeps you returning, that your love for them can be used as a mechanism to override your own judgment every single time. God is not going to make you see this. He has been showing you and letting you choose. The same grace that gave you the capacity to love this deeply is the same grace that will allow you to stay if that is what you keep choosing. He will not force you through the exit. He will hold it open and wait. But the door does not stay open forever. This season has an expiration date. The window where you can walk away and rebuild without devastating loss is still open. There will come a point where leaving is still possible, but everything will cost more. Your health will cost more. Your time will cost more. The reconstruction of your sense of self will cost more. And there will come a point after that where the only way out requires going all the way through the wreckage first. You are in the first window, the one where leaving is still clean. CTA 3, subscribe right now and turn on every notification. What I am releasing in this space over the coming days is not encouragement designed to make you feel better temporarily. It is strategic prophetic preparation for people walking out of seasons exactly like this one. You need to be here for what comes next. And for those who feel called to partner with this mission, the KO-FI link is pinned in the comments. This is not a passive invitation. It is an active call to invest in what is reaching people at the exact edge of their most important decisions. Let me tell you exactly what the strategy against you looks like so that you can stop explaining it away. It does not arrive as obvious cruelty. It does not announce itself as control. It comes as intensity that felt like passion before it felt like possession. It came as someone who seemed to understand you in a way no one had before. Someone who said the right things at the right moment, who seemed to see you clearly, who offered connection in the specific places where you had been most lonely, and you opened. Because you are a person who loves deeply and who wanted to be loved in return. That is not a flaw. That is your nature. But it is also what was targeted, because people who drain God's chosen ones do not operate randomly. They recognize something in you that you sometimes cannot see in yourself. They see the calling, the capacity, the anointing that is on your life. And they position themselves close enough to access it, to feed from it, and to prevent it from fully manifesting in the ways that would require them to no longer be the center of your world. This is why God is interrupting your day right now. Not after you invest more years, not after the situation becomes impossible to ignore. Now, while the cost of change is still low enough that you can pay it without losing everything, CTA 4. If this word is finding you at exactly the right moment, type 777 in the comments. Let that be your declaration that you received this warning and you are choosing to act on it before the window narrows further. And for those who want to partner with this prophetic mission, the Ko-Fi link is pinned. Your seed funds the next alert, the next word that finds someone at the edge of their critical window before they step through into something harder to come back from. Plant it now. Here is the hardest part of this warning, and I need you to receive it without flinching. Some of what God is asking you to walk away from is not entirely bad. Some of the moments were real. Some of the connection was genuine. Some of the love you felt and gave was true, even if it was not being received and returned with the same integrity. That is what makes this so difficult. If it were entirely terrible, you would have left already. The reason you stayed is because enough of it was good enough to make the painful part seem survivable, to make the cost seem worth it, to make leaving feel like abandoning something real instead of protecting something sacred. But God is asking you to understand something tonight. You do not have to prove that someone is entirely a villain in order to decide that a relationship is not right for your life. You do not have to build a case. You do not have to wait until the damage is undeniable. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to choose growth. You are allowed to choose the version of your life that God designed before someone else's needs, and dysfunction became the architecture of your daily existence. You can love someone from a distance. You can want good things for a person while accepting that the only way to receive what God has prepared for you is to create space between their story and yours. That is not cruelty. That is not unforgiveness. That is not you giving up. That is obedience to a God who has seen what this relationship is costing you at the level of your destiny, not just at the level of your emotions. CTA 5. Share this with someone who has been told that wanting to leave makes them a bad person. Someone who has been guilted into staying by the very person whose behavior has been driving them to the door. Someone who has confused loyalty to a person with faithfulness to God, because there is a difference, and they need to hear it today. The Ko-Fi link is in the comments. What you plant here reaches the person who is one conversation away from walking back into something they already know they should have left. So, here is what you need to do. Not next week. Not after one more conversation. Today, get quiet. Not distracted quiet, not busy quiet, deliberately, intentionally still, and in that stillness, ask God to show you this relationship without the filter of your hope for it. Not what you want it to be, not what it was in its best moments. What it actually is right now, and what it has consistently been when you stopped performing and simply paid attention. And then do not negotiate with what He shows you. You have already seen it. Multiple times. You have already felt the confirmation in your own spirit on multiple occasions. You have been collecting the evidence for months, maybe longer, and then explaining it away each time because the alternative felt too painful or too uncertain or too much like failure. What you are waiting for is not more information. The case is already made. What you are waiting for is permission. And I am telling you tonight that God has already given it. The permission was given the first time your spirit tried to tell you the truth, and you silenced it to keep the peace. The courage to act does not come before the action, it comes through it. You will not feel ready before you move. You will feel ready because you moved. And the moment you choose yourself, choose your calling, choose the life God built for you over the relationship that has been quietly dismantling it. Something will shift in the spiritual atmosphere around your life that you will feel before you can explain. That shift is what comes after obedience, and it is already waiting for you on the other side of the decision you already know you need to make. CTA 6. Before we close, for those who feel called to partner with this mission so that it can keep reaching people at the exact edge of their most critical decisions, the Ko-Fi link is pinned. What you give is not a donation. It is a declaration that warning matters, that the person standing at the exit of a relationship that is costing them their destiny deserves to receive what you just received before they talk themselves into staying one more time. Heaven honors those who invest in the protection of others. The link is waiting. Chosen one. The time for one more conversation is over. The time for one more chance, one more round of hoping they will finally see you clearly. One more cycle of things getting better and then getting worse is over. God has been patient with this situation far longer than it deserved. He has been waiting for you to see what he already saw when this person first came into your life. He has been holding the exit open. He has been sounding the alarm through your own body, your own dreams, your own unshakable sense that something precious in you has been slowly going quiet. He has now sent this word directly into your day to remove every excuse for continued delay. What is on the other side of this decision is not loneliness. It is not failure. It is not the proof that you are someone who cannot make love work. What is on the other side is the version of your life that was always meant to exist, the calling that has been waiting, the peace that does not depend on managing someone else, the clarity that comes when you stop spending all of your energy maintaining a dynamic that was never designed to help you flourish. You were not made for this. You were made for something that does not require you to disappear inside it to survive. The choice is simple. Even though it does not feel simple, move now while the exit is still clean, or wait until the cost of leaving is higher than it needs to be. You already know which one God is asking you to choose. Now move, CTA 7. If you have stayed until the end, subscribe now and turn on every notification. Share this before you close it. Give this word to at least 3 people who are in the middle of loving someone at the cost of their own life. And if you feel the call to become part of the mission that sends this warning into the lives of people standing at the exact edge of their most important decisions, the Ko-Fi link is pinned in the comments. Click like on this video as your act of faith, as your agreement that this word was sent for you and that you received it. Heaven is watching what you do with this moment. Do not let it pass. End of T15A.